Hi Scott, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I've red eyes because I've been crying quite considerably in the last 20 minutes because I just finished watching a film and it was very tearful.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Oh, that's
No, it
very
wasn't.
sweet.
No, it was good. It was good
It
tears,
was a
very
good
good
cry.
tears.
Good.
Yeah, it was a
We
good
need a
cry.
we need a good cry these days.
We do indeed. We do
Let it
indeed.
out.
Yeah, in fact, it matches the outside because outside in London it is absolutely teeming down with rain. So
Okay.
it matches. How are you doing? How's everything with you?
I'm well. I'm well. We're just getting back to shooting. The last 8 episodes of Fear of our season 6. So it's good to be back in the middle of everything. Everything's working out pretty well so far. Everybody's got great spirits, and just I think the PPE has made everything even more organized, and so I think it's even more efficient. You know?
Yeah, you're not the first person I spoke to that has said that it actually has given a different kind of structure to everything, and that everything's kind of working the same, but also it's tighter and there's a better kind of dynamic
It
to it.
is because because the constraints that we all have now, or even production constraints. That has to be really truly mapped out. There's no longer that sort of that chaos that happens a lot on sets. So I think that I'm a fan of it. I was in the van with a couple of my castmates last night. We were all just saying how fantastic it is actually, and also just how clean and safe it is. And not that practical. Well, let's be honest, on sets and everything, those taking those beats were not as important. And now it's just like it has to be mindful. Everything's mindful, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. Well, congratulations on the show. Still
Thank you.
still going. Season 6, very
Thank
very
you.
impressive. Are you still pinching yourself that it's been going on for so long? Because you're in a unique situation that spin-offs sometimes don't work. The history of TV will tell you that spin-offs don't always work, but you guys have been so lucky that the audience has been there and you guys have been able to tell some amazing stories in amongst this crazy world.
It's true. I think I had no idea that this show would last this long, and it keeps growing strong and reinventing itself. And I think that's the nature of Fear the Walking Dead in particular, that it does go through a reinvention. When it comes to the look, the feel. So I think we're always giving audiences something to grab a hold to that's new and fresh. I am surprised. I'm always surprised that I was looking at Alycia Debnam-Carey yesterday. We had a scene together, and I thought, and it just had a moment. I just thought, well, I would have never imagined in season 1 that we would sort of be the last two standing. Well, we have Daniel Salazar as well, but played by Rubén Blades, but he's come and gone. But Alicia and I are the longest cast members who've been on it, and I just thought I would have never imagined. I had no idea.
Yeah, you two have been quite good at evading evading all the
I
all
don't
the
even know
craziness.
how it happened. I think it's just luck of the draw. I feel like it's just like any of the characters, all the characters always built in such a strong, complex way. But I think I'm examining that, like, Alicia was she started out as a teenager of sorts, and had her journey and growing into a very strong, formidable young woman. And my journey has been, being a con man who has to, you know, uh, I don't know, deconstruct himself to in order to survive. And I think those are interesting journeys. I think for audiences.
Yeah. How important is that to you in terms of a character? Because with television, you get to play a character for a long time than maybe you would on. I mean, obviously on the stage and in films, you might play a character for a while, or on stage you might play the same character over and over again. But over 6 years, you must be delighted that Victor's journey has been full of surprises and full of, as you say, that
Yeah,
he's kind of grown in different ways because he's a very enigmatic man as it is, but he's had
yeah.
to kind of move with the times in many
I
ways.
think so, and I think that's the joy of playing Victor Strand. I love Victor because I think the more that I get to know him, the more that I'm able to dial him in, dial him up, look at his heartstrings, look at what makes him tick, what makes him survive. It always keeps changing. He keeps you're right. He every time there's a new atmosphere, new characters, he needs to adapt and reconfigure himself. And I think that's a great journey to have. I know in particular with this season, our showrunners and we had a conversation about where Victor Strand needs to go now, because we've seen him sort of, peel away his harder layers. And I'm interested in seeing now that with the things that have happened in the end of season 5, where does that take Victor Strand? It has to take him into new territory. So it has to rebuild. He has to rebuild himself in a version that we've seen in season 1 and probably even season 4. And now we have to put those two together and see how he's going to survive again. So I feel like I'm playing a new Victor Strand this season, which I feel like I'm playing a new Victor Strand, which is cool, you know?
Yeah, and I guess I'm sure you get asked this before, but the one thing I love about him is that people will say he's a good guy at times, he's a bad guy at times. So he's very hard to pin down, but actually that kind of makes him perfect for the situation, that he kind of sees things developing before everybody else, and he's able to kind of challenge everybody more so than maybe anyone else would have done, because he's kind of that, you've got that yin and yang quality.
It's true. Yeah, he really does. That's what I love. That's what I love about him. It's like he just he's constantly shifting, and I always like to stay a little ahead of the audience. Just when you think he's one way, I want there to be a look or something that could be calculated, could be misinterpreted. I feel like that there's always more, and there's room in his silences.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that about him. He's very enigmatic, but I love he can flip. So he's a fantastic character. You must be, how surprised have you been over the years that the writers have kind of kept you on your toes as an actor by giving you the surprises of Victor, that he is going to go one way and then divert to somewhere else? That must be exciting for you as an actor.
It is, and to be very honest, I think that we work together, the showrunners and the writers and we work together, because I would give some pushback as well, because I think that if he's going down a road that I felt like, okay, if he's played these notes already, because I'm beholden to the character now after 6 years, 6 seasons, I know this character. I'm like, have I played that note before? Have I done that before? Okay, then we have to double down and go further. So I have to own the character in many ways. And so now there's a beautiful dance that we really work together. They will write some material, but then they will also even ask my opinion. Do you like the way that's going? Does that make sense? Because I feel like they know that I have to, any character that's been doing a show for, any person that's doing a show for 6 seasons, you have an ownership of your character, and you have to, and I think it's best when you feel that your actor owns that character and part of his journey. So I think that's always fun.
Yeah. Have you enjoyed the dynamic of acting, but also because I think you've directed a few episodes as well along the way?
I've directed now
3 episodes.
Yeah, I've directed now.
You've done one in season. You've done one in season 6 as well, if I'm right in saying. Yeah. Have you enjoyed that kind of that mixture of being able to do that stuff? And is that something that you've always wanted to do? And is this kind of a good platform for you to try and to try things?
It is because I think I have such an opinion about the show and what it can be. There's great, huge story elements when it comes to production details. Just epic, with special effects and visual effects. But also I do know the character and story work, which I'm very interested in as a director. So I've always been a director on stage for many years. And so it just made sense to gradually, my eye is I'm always watching and learning. Last night, I just found myself really watching Michael Satrazemis, who I think is such an incredible director. I really admire him. I was just watching the way he operates in this new environment. And so I feel like I'm always in sort of conservatory when I'm on set, even as an actor. I'm never just focusing in on my work. So it just makes sense for me. And so now I'm even looking forward to saying, oh, how do I direct in this climate? I directed, I'm sure it's not a spoiler, but I've directed episode 603. This comes the 3rd episode of this coming season. So yeah, it's my 3rd episode. And I love going back and forth because I love the work, and I love my crew is incredible, and it's epic storytelling. I feel like I've been blessed and granted the keys to the kingdom to direct on a show like Fear the Walking Dead, because it's not just 2 characters in a cafe talking. We have so many elements that need to happen, and you really feel like you do truly feel like you're making an incredible film.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Has it helped because obviously you've worked with some amazing directors? You obviously worked with Barry Jenkins, you've just worked with Nia DaCosta, who's going on to do a Marvel movie now, all these amazing kind of filmmakers. Is it good for you to, as an actor, to be around those people to help you in your craft, not just as an actor but as a director?
I think it's good for both of us. I think they may say it's good for them too. No, because I think that they know that I'm an artist that's interested in really dissecting the work, and they are as well. So I know that the directors that I'm always drawn to, that usually hire me, they want me to come in with my entire voice, truly. And I love that we love to wrestle with text. We love to wrestle with what is that thing, with research. I love directors that send me research early, like Ava DuVernay or Steven Spielberg, you name it. It's like, I've worked with these incredible directors, and I've learned, I take from each and every one of them. And then hopefully I can give a little something too. I know that I give a good work ethic, and I love that I love to really get in. I'm so invested in the work and not just showing up as an actor, but I'm interested in how we're doing the whole thing. So I know that we, I don't know, I'm always glad to be cast and working with really competent directors who have a true vision. And I want to get along on board in the vision and help them achieve it. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say how big a fan I am of Beale Street. I think it's an incredible piece of filmmaking. And it's an exciting time for you as well, because obviously you've done Fear the Walking Dead. You've just done Candyman, which has obviously been delayed, but is coming out next year. And you've done Ma Rainey with Viola Davis, and obviously there's obviously Chadwick as well. I just wondered how energizing that is for you as an actor, that you get to work with these amazing talents, even if it is just for a brief moment, that you get to kind of, as you say, absorb them and they can absorb you.
I feel very lucky. I feel very truly blessed. And I've always made room for many other opportunities. And the team that I have around me, I have the most incredible team of people who I work with who want to make sure that I'm a part of these, I don't know, these other, I don't know, interrogations into the human soul. That's just, you know, I work on Fear the Walking Dead 6 to 7 months out of the year. And the rest of the year, I like to fill it with other things that I'm going to love, and I'm going to really want to put my heart and soul into. They don't have to be financially viable. They could be, you know, just work of art that I just want to be a part of or be in the room with. And it doesn't matter to me, but I'm very conscious about the rooms that I want to be in. And so I truly am lucky. I feel like I get the lion's share of working with great artists. Working with Viola, working with Chadwick, that was, Ma Rainey is going to be something special. It's going to be something truly special, because I think it truly does have all of our fingerprints on it. And it also has, you know, for it to be Chadwick's last film, I know it's something, I do know from his wife that it's the thing that he's most proud of. And to be a part of things like that, I'm telling you, man, I know for sure I'm a lucky man. I can look at my career and look at these opportunities that I've had in the film space and just say, boy, am I a lucky guy. I get to be a part of things that actually move humanity forward in some way. Films like Selma or Lincoln or Birth of a Nation, you name it. I say, I know I'm lucky, and I know that I'm called on to do work like that. It makes sense to me now that, like, because it's part of my ethos, it's part of what I care about, and I want to put that into my work. I used to think I just wanted to do some silly job that would just pay me a lot of money, and I never got cast in those things. I never got those opportunities, and it makes sense because I realize I'm much more useful in things that really have meaning, and things that will, I don't know, that will last a long time.
Yeah, what is that? I mean, you said Ma Rainey. There was a lot of talk about that before, you know, Chadwick's very sad passing. But even now, it feels like it's a movie it's got a lot of buzz about it. So I'm excited to see that one. Just coming back to The Walking Dead as a final question. I mean, how excited are you to show this to fans? Because they don't like to know spoilers, but they like to be kept on the hook. They like to know what surprises are coming. But what would you say to them that they can expect from season 6? And is this do you think this is the best season you've done so far?
I think it's the best season we've done in some years, to be very honest. I think season 3 was one of my favorite seasons, and I think season 6 is also going to be one of my favorites. I love the anthology that's happening this season. You get to go more into the interior lives with your characters and really sit down with them. And we're not, you know, periphery and, you know, big group scenes. A lot of times you know, it's 10 people in a group. You can only get so much story in there, but now you get to sit down. You get to actually go deeper with, you know, John and June and, you know, Morgan and Alicia and Charlie. I think it's just cool. And I think it's really, it allows for really unique storytelling. We're moving the cameras a bit more. I think every episode has its own feel now, which is very exciting. So it's not just, you know, 16 episodes, same feel, storytelling. No, this episode is going to feel like this. My episode that I directed has a very Die Hard-esque feel to it. And even when it comes to the music and the camera and the lenses, you name it, it's really unique. So basically we're having 16 films this season, which is cool.
Very, very exciting. I look forward to seeing that one. in the next coming weeks. Colman, thank you so much for your time. Absolute pleasure talking to you. And
Thanks, Dan.
good luck with everything, and stay safe.
You too. Be well. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey!